Campus at McDonogh School, where the McDonogh Eagles will play host to the Cavaliers from Spalding. Thanks for joining us here on CUDA.com. I'm Booker Corrigan, joined as always by Inside Lacrosse writer Ty Zanders. Ty, two teams that have had nice seasons up until this point, but this is a big game for both squads.
Yeah, McDonogh come in pretty energized with some big wins over St. Mary's and Calvert Hall, especially that big overtime win. It was really boosted this young squad. Very, very young. A lot of their contributors are freshmen, sophomores. Junior Nick Doyle's in cage. It's a tough team.
And we're going to look for the Spalding Cavaliers bringing it heavy. Robert Jones doing a nice job for them, as well as Michael Cooper, Tyler Shepard's in the cage, and Nick Callis doing a nice job for them as well. And look out for William Hirschman, number 25. He's one of those guys who can do a lot when asked of him. Let's talk about McDonogh specifically, Ty.
Definitely Trey McGee, an attackman who recently committed to Denver. Britton Vallis, a midfielder, going to Hopkins. Defense is very strong with some guys like Danny Sweeney and Alex Hurdle, a sophomore, going to Notre Dame. And then in goal, I mentioned Nick Doyle. He's committed to Ohio State. It's a tough team, very good team. I think they'll give the Spalding Cavaliers a very tough contest.
And we will be back with the opening face-off. This is CUDA.com and Royal Farms bringing you the game of the week. First quarter brought to you, as always, by the Baltimore Crabs Lacrosse Club. The Baltimore Crabs, one of the great club lacrosse programs in the entire country. Make sure you investigate their young prospect camp going on this summer. The Baltimore Crabs Lacrosse Club, tremendous organization solely involved to support the efforts of these fine athletes and coaches. McDonogh will be in their home whites and Spalding in their road black jerseys, white tops. Hill Blaze pushes the first face-off forward, comes down shot just wide. You see why McDonogh's doing so well at the face-off logo this year.
I've been very impressed with Hill Blaze so far this year. He won 5-6 face-offs against Stephen Kelly, which doesn't sound like it, but that's a very impressive accomplishment.
We have certainly had a chance to cover Stephen Bones Kelly throughout the course of this 2012 season. McDonogh's Austin Frederick spins it behind Trey McGee.
Don't know how I forgot about Frederick in the open. He's been phenomenal so far this year. He's committed to Villanova, junior, younger brother of Tyler Frederick, who's a sophomore attackman at Ohio State University.
And here's Robbie Black, number 15 for the Eagles. Gets it behind, backed up by Robert Clark, number 20. And this is a young but talented McDonogh Eagles squad. Freshmen and sophomores sprinkled all over this roster. Britton Vallis gets the pick on the top side. Great save on the offering. Spencer Talbot got an arm on that one. I think Alex Hurdle comes up with the ground ball, and McDonogh's defense showing why they are one of the top-ranked defensive units in the MIAA this year. Hurdle gets it up to Britton Vallis. We're at the 10:40 mark here, first quarter. Royal Farms and CUDA.com bringing you the game of the week. First midfield unit still in for the Eagles. Frederick, hard shot, knocked away. Talbot doing a nice job here in the early going, as it's been all McDonogh. And I'm sure you can hear those flags rippling behind us. A beautiful day, save the 20-mile-an-hour winds.
And I want to say this is our first time back here since the infamous notorious BIG call on Greg Pike. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Gotta love, I think it is. That was a playoff game last year, quarterfinals. Greggy Pike. Frederick going against the defensive midi, Connor Shoup. Frederick driving hard right-handed, spins back for his left, gets it in towards Robbie Black. Black fights through a couple stick checks. Loose ball corralled, score, Evan Glazer.
Nifty play there by the Michigan-bound senior, and with that, I've won the race to Nifty.
A huge win for Ty Zanders in that race to Nifty. Nifty little inside play by Evan Glazer. He had a lot of time after he scooped that ball, a surprisingly large amount of time.
Love that backhand there. One of the only seniors in this team who's playing a contributing role.
McDonogh goal scored by number 13, Evan Glazier.
Straight back to the face-off logo, and Hillblaze has that one pushed forward on him. Spalding pulls it out for control. Michael Cooper, cousin of Brian and Kevin Cooper, the Maryland standouts. William Hirschman now balances up that first midfield unit for the Cavaliers. Certainly no struggle seeing those numbers on their back. As large a number as I've come across in the sport of lacrosse. Robert Jones drives hard, comes out righty. Short stick D midi for McDonogh. Evan Conroy slides onto him and deters the dodge. And now it's Bruce Overbay, top center. And the Cavaliers' Nick Callis takes it for a spin behind the cage.
Spalding, one of those teams very much snake bitten by injuries so far. Ryan Cochran, a Delaware-bound midfielder, is just getting back today. Connor Perquini's been out the entire year as our Syracuse-bound stalwart. Definitely hurting without those two guys.
And Perquini, one of those players who qualified for the Under Armour All-American Underclassmen game. We will keep you up to date today on guys who are qualified to make that underclassmen team. There's certainly a host of youth talent out on this field.
And he played with that Washington, D.C. team. Those guys in Spalding, St. Mary's, Severn have the option to play with either, it seems like.
McDonogh back on offense. Eagles lead 1-0 here. 7:50 remaining first quarter. First quarter brought to you by the Baltimore Crabs Lacrosse Club. The Baltimore Crabs solely in it to support the efforts of these fine athletes and coaches. Check out their prospect camp, the Baltimore Crabs Lacrosse Club. McDonogh running some clock here on offense. Evan Glazier, the goal scorer, spins it behind, and now number 20, Robert Clark, doing a nice job. Violation against the Eagles is going to give the Cavaliers possession. Nice little face dodge on the far side.
And possessions like this are very crucial for the Cavaliers today. Coach Barry Davis told us he wants to possess, just flat out possess. The defense has been doing a very good job for the Cavaliers. The offense is turning it over a little bit, so they want to possess the ball a bit more than they have in the past.
Bruce Overbay now in at midfield for the Cavaliers. Remind you, make Royal Farms your first stop before and after every game for everything from custom-built subs and wraps, healthy snacks, drinks, fresh brewed coffee, Western fries, and of course Royal Farms delicious, world-famous, fresh, never frozen chicken. Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast. Shot saved by Doyle on the inside. He got an arm on it. Loose ball scrum. And possession to the Eagles. Grant Ringelman comes up with it for the Eagles and moves it quickly to Sweeney.
Almost weird not seeing Kyler Vinny out there rock number 7 for the McDonogh Eagles. It's a new team.
Austin Frederick with a great shot, but an equally great save by by Talbot. And now it's Talbot looking to clear. Talbot now just outside the top of his box. Still has about 12 to 10 seconds to try and clear it. Long pass in and out of the stick, and it's going to be McDonogh possession. Benjamin Garden couldn't corral that one, but an opportunity presents itself for the Spalding Cavaliers to ride. You create those transition opportunities, and that chaos Sometimes it works out in your favor, a turnover deep in the other team's end.
McDonogh team, people were very curious about coming into the year. Didn't know how they would handle the graduation loss to guys like Keegan Michael, Brenny Daly, Bryson Green,
Connor Morgan.
List goes on and on, really. Ben Falcone. Some guys that made some strong contributions to the Eagle program. We're talking to Coach Silvergardner after the win over Calvert Hall, and he said, I attribute this win more to the guys who've gone on and graduated almost as much as the current guys in the team. The way they set its foundation for this program.
Robbie Black possesses it down the left side, gets it to Clark, quickly to McGee.
Safe bet that this team will be phenomenal in the year 2014 when all these guys are seniors.
Robbie Black splits right to left, comes back, pushes it to Clark, quickly to McGee. McGee drives left, he rolls back righty, and Frederick pass is knocked down. Connor Shoup doing work, and now it's Frederick coming out with the loose ball shot, kicked out by Talbot. Nifty little ground ball play by Robert Clark on the end line.
Certainly nifty.
Austin Frederick comes up with it and pushes it to Clark. Clark's now gonna ladle it up towards the top of the box. Britton Vallis knocked to the turf. And Spalding gets a piece of the clear that they needed. Here's Shoup coming down 5-on-3 right now for the Cavaliers. Pass in and out of the stick of Colin Riley. And McDonogh's Joey Fiorino. Clark gets it over to Glazer. Glazer, great save, Talbot. Talbot kicks that out with a foot.
I think if you're Talbot, you feel pretty good about where you are right now. Only letting one goal, not many offensive chances, but he's kicked these balls out with his foot usually.
A nice ground ball by Frederick. Shot offered, backed up by McGee.
And I was hoping, as I said that, the ball wouldn't trickle past him and go in.
Especially right by one of his feet, since he has been kicking them out with tremendous proficiency. First quarter brought to you by the Baltimore Crabs Lacrosse Club. You are watching CUDA.com and the Royal Farms Game of the Week. Shot goal, Trey McGee using his speed. Turning and burning on the end line. 2:35 left first quarter, 2-0 Eagles. Great goal by Trey McGee. Got to remind you to spin by Michael's Cafe on York Road and get the best crab cake in all of Baltimore. Michael's Cafe, a huge supporter of CUDA and CUDA.com. Referees for today's game, Carmen D. John Domenico, Maceo Parker, and Richard Montgomery McGee. Violation on the faceoff, Hill Blaze. Turning and burning straight down the teeth of the Spalding defense. Pass knocked in the air, and Spalding's gonna come up with possession. Pushed from behind, but waved off. And Christopher Hamilton, all right, Hamilton, comes up with the ground ball on the far end. Daniel Barber pushing it up the field. Spalding onside. Barber a little hesitant, not fully aware of who was on and off. And Danny Sweeney has it for the Eagles. As the winds continue to howl here in the big house. I feel like we're at University of Michigan watching a football game.
Crowd a little bit smaller. A little bit smaller.
I would say there's fewer than 107,000 people here. True statement. Flag flies, and we will have our first Man Up brought to you by the Power Shaft. If you are a lacrosse player and want to get better and stronger, check out thepowershaft.com. Also want to remind you of public service announcements. Sexually transmitted infections such as chlamydia and gonorrhea can have serious health consequences, but these infections are easy to treat, so if you think you might be infected, talk to your healthcare provider or get tested free at your local public health clinic. It's fast, it's easy, you don't even need a blood sample. If you test negative, great. If not, it's a step towards getting the treatment you need. BD, helping all people live healthy lives. Go to bd.com to learn more. McDonogh man up. Just spinning around, full minute penalty on Archbishop Spalding. Cavaliers man down for up to 1 minute. Black gets it behind, and McGee gets to the far side to Frederick. Rob Clark. Exchange inside. Shot off the crossbar by Glazer. Rebounded, collected by Britton Vallis. Goal McDonogh, 3-0 Eagles.
McDonogh goal scored by number 36, Britton Vallis.
Vallis with his first goal of the afternoon. The Glazer shot rang off the crossbar, and everybody from Spalding kind of went flat-footed for a quick second, as high-level Division I defenders tend to do as well when the ball goes off the crossbar like that. Vallis catches it and nails the bouncer. Another violation on the face-off, and Hill Blaze now breaks in. There's going to be a flag against Spalding for no leaving the field. Glazer behind the cage. Glazer bound for University of Michigan. Speaking of the big house. Glazer drives lefty. 27 seconds left in the first quarter. Surprised we're not seeing a stall warning right here. Glazer comes around, saved by Talbot. Ball corralled by Spalding, and another man up for the Eagles with 12.9 seconds first quarter. This man up brought to you by The Power Shaft. Get to www.thepowershaft.com to learn how you can get the world's only weighted lacrosse training device. You put it right on your normal lacrosse head. I've learned that college teams are now having their entire squad practice with power shafts, and then when they use their regular stick, they shoot much harder and their shoulders are much stronger. McDonogh possesses near side, get it up top to Vallis, and they're just going to kill off the first quarter as the seconds wind away. Make Royal Farms your first stop before and after every game for everything from custom-built subs and wraps, healthy snacks, drinks, fresh brewed coffee, Western fries, and of course, Royal Farms' delicious, world-famous, fresh, never frozen chicken. Royal Farms, real fresh, real fast.